That's good. Check it out. Now with Keith, all eyes on this Saturday storm, and that astronomical tide is not going to make things any better.
It's bad timing. It's one of those situations when things line up like that. We have a very high tide. We gain a foot from that, so you can imagine that that's not a great situation. We do have a couple of snow showers out there right now. I was trying to check web cameras. I wasn't seeing a whole lot of action. It's kind of hard though when it's dark out to pick up snow on a web camera unless it's absolutely coming down hard. But you can see one towards Augusta here and just north into Skowhegan shortly. A couple of snow showers into down East Maine as well. Zoom out though, and our storm system is just developing right now in through western Oklahoma, North Texas. It's going to take a line directly across basically to Toronto and be another what we call inside runner, which means the low is to our west, which once again will introduce a change of precipitation type from snow to rain and also southeast winds like our last storm. So tonight's quiet, partly cloudy. Eventually temperatures drop down in the 20s and teens. Tomorrow's a bright day, not a whole lot going on here. Mid to upper 30s along the coast, about freezing elsewhere should do it. It's worth noting this storm is slower as far as its onset compared to the last one. The last one came in kind of in the early evening. This will come in really in the early morning hours on Saturday. This is midnight, and you can see there's nothing going on yet. It takes 3-4 o'clock in the morning before we start to work this precipitation in. Probably too warm along the immediate coastline over southern Maine, at least right off the bat. So starting as rain there and ending as rain, so to speak. Inland it starts to snow, but that rain snow line gets pushing throughout the day on Saturday to the northwest. It is more of a daytime storm, as I mentioned, so this is 9 a.m. and it's still raining and snowing in most spots. And then it starts to move out of southern Maine by about midday and breaks up into some rain and snow showers over down East Maine through the afternoon. So it's quick moving. As a result, not as much total moisture, so I don't think flooding concerns are as big of a problem, even though obviously our soil is quite ripe. It's looked like an inch or so of rain from this as opposed to 2.5 from the last one. That also impacts snow amounts, so lesser snow amounts. And 6 to 10, the purple zone is probably the only spot that will really gain a lot of snow. The rest of these zones will see this snow, and then rain will come down on top of it and wash it away. And again, the mid-coast and southern coastal Maine will be just rain. The winds will be strong during that morning to mid-morning hours. And again, we're talking southeast winds, 50 to 55 miles an hour for a gust. We will see some scattered power outages for sure. No reason to believe that this will be any worse power outage-wise than the last one we just went through, as winds were even stronger with that system. All of that comes together, and the biggest concern is from the mid-coast south, the surge, the winds correspond pretty well, although not exactly, but pretty well with our high tide, which is the highest of the month. And so our projected forecast right now is 14.1 feet. This is in Portland. And we just came third highest with 13.84. So this would be above that one. And it is within sniffing distance of the highest water level ever recorded in Portland. Records go back to 1912. So obviously we'll see some water inundation there. Some good news, guys. We showed you some of the damage in the mid-coast and down East Maine. Waves will be smaller with this storm. So you'll have high surge and water levels, but you won't have the same amount of power with the waves, which is part of what caused a lot of those issues there. Watch our next storm on Tuesday. I think that's either a snowstorm or out to sea, and that's where we want to be at. Yes. We don't want any more chance of any western storms, and that doesn't look like one of those. It does look significantly colder, by the way, in kind of the mid-range, so winter will try to come back, which is better than this type of stuff.
Yeah. Agreed. Thanks, Keith.